Sabali.
Sabali.
Yeah.
Patience.
Okay.
Like Damien.
Yeah. Sabali Media.
Sabali Media.
Okay.
Alright, whenever you're ready.
This a survival story. This a true ghetto story. This is my story. This a Sabali story. Hey, well I remember those days when hell was my home. When wow wow. Yo, this is the Kid Cham. And you're rocking with Sabali Media. Can you hear me? The movement is lawless, fully lawless. Click click pow bang.
Okay, so can you tell me a little bit about your beginnings with reggae music and your career?
I go by the name of Baby Cham. Of recent, more people know me as Cham. Reason being, the last album, Get a Story album, we basically didn't go with the name Baby Cham on the album because of how I was feeling at the time. I thought my music was growing so much. There was nothing baby about my music anymore, but I'm always the ladies' baby. As far as how I got my start, my uncle had a sound system in Jamaica by the name of Studio Mix. A sound system is like a portable club that you can set it up anywhere and you have a party right there. Super Cat used to perform on the sound system, John Wayne, just to name a few, and that's how I got into music. That's how I really got the love for the music until I went on from there on to Madhouse Records. Oh, when I was just starting out, I was working with Spragga Benz, Wayne Wonder. Dave Kelly was the producer. He's still my producer up to today's date. But those were the artists that I was frequent around at the time. Mainly Spragga Benz, Wayne Wonder, Frankie Sly, Buju Banton was there also. He wasn't a part of the camp per se, but we were working out in the same studio. I used to watch him rehearse with his band, learn stuff from them, just rehearsing so on. So when my time come to have my own band, I would know how to directly construct and do what we need to do to get the live show popping. Reggae has always been there. People just say that it's reviving and it's basically pushing to the forefront again, but it has always been there. It's just that mainstream radio tend to not add a lot of our stuff. I don't know if it's because of the politics behind major companies and what's been spent in budgets and all these things to get other songs added. But reggae has always been there, and if you notice, when you go to an even playing field like in Europe, we're getting more spins and more plays than the other genres of music. So it has always been there. It's up to us as just artists and musicians to come together, and where you have a more stronger forefront and a stronger push on the North American side. The vibe goes wherever I'm at. If you notice, if I'm from, my band is here. Even though we reside now in Miami, the studio is here. My producer from day one, who is Dave Kelly, he's the one that's responsible for Action, Not a Bag of Mouth, all those songs. The early Buju Bantans, all those big Buju Bantan tracks. This a survival story. All my big tracks. You get what I'm saying? Tables Turn with Foxy Brown. He's responsible for all those tracks. So you carry your vibe no matter where you at. Wherever you at. We will be here right now and Gang with Joaquin or Steven. And you just see that natural yard vibe coming out. So wherever we at, that's where the vibe will be. So we create our own reggae and dancehall environment wherever we at. It could be on a ship, it could be in a hotel room, it could be out in the seas, anywhere, in the plane. We create that vibe.
Well, I started on the hotel circuit here on the North Coast in Montego Bay. My first job as a musician was at the Seawind Hotel, and it's a 6-night-a-week job. It goes like from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m., and you do that 6 nights a week. Yeah, so you get to hone your musical skills on the North Coast. That's what we call it here. It's like a school. You know, we play a variety of music, many different varying genres of music. A lot of R&B and pop and reggae and jazz also, standards. Yeah. No, I didn't go to school. I had a tutor who taught me how to play the guitar, and then I progressed on my own after that. Yeah, by listening to a lot of records, a lot of American records, a lot of rock guitarists and blues guitarists and so on, funk guitarists, you know, because I grew up with the funk and reggae, yeah.
Crazy. The Welcome to Jamrock Cruise is the first of its kind. First of its kind. Damon Marley and his whole team put it on. The cruise is your own, just picture your own reggae and dancehall world on the seas. No one telling you about noise disturbance act or nothing like that. You do what you want to do. And you know what we do in reggae world. Yes, so you drink what you want to drink. You eat what you want to eat in Jamaican style. You smoke what you want to smoke in Jamaican style. And it was a 5-day cruise. Every night you have 3 or 4 major acts. And that's how it is. In the daytime you had parties throughout the whole cruise. There you basically get 3 hours to sleep. And from there it's just party, live show. It's one of the most beautiful experiences I've ever had. And the reason why I said that is because normally at concerts, only people who had VIP tickets or had links to managements or someone working with the team would be able to mingle or come see us, or if we have autograph sessions. And you know, autograph sessions or photo sessions, it's normally quick. They normally say, okay, 45 minutes and we have 2,000 people lined up. Boom, boom. No one get the time of day. On the cruise, you'd be walking and you bump into your favorite fan. Right. And, oh my gosh, and you spend time with them just reasoning, and you're by the pool chilling, and they would come up, offer you a beer or whatever, or you offer them a picture or whatever. It was just one big intimate vibe, and you on that boat, you on that ship for 5 days with 4,000 people. And they're seeing you every single day. So it's an experience that even normal, the regular genre of music, fans don't get that. Right. To be so close to their favorite artists. Right. Every single day, just hanging out. We're playing soccer, we're playing basketball, and it's just one big vibe. So if you haven't got tickets for next year yet, go get your tickets now. It's every year. Welcome to Jamrock Cruise. Boom.
Accurate. Greetings to the world, and we say, I'm never gonna be a slave to them system. Rasta nah loot no working at them business. Give thanks and praise. You know, this is Kabaka Pyramid from Kingston, Jamaica. And we say blessed love goes out to Sabali Media. Give thanks, Rastafari. There's a lot happening right now in terms of reggae music. You know, where I'm from in Jamaica, you know, we see a lot of young artists rising up doing conscious music with a certain level of quality and a certain direction. You know, a lot of Rasta youths where, you know, coming with a level of intelligence to the music and the business, you know, so it's like, you know, artists, you know, pursue having their own bands right now is a main thing, you know, so you find a lot of quote-unquote young artists touring with them bands and, you know, having their music as a product where them really, you know, look to focus on, you know, taking it to the international stage as a full product. You know what I mean? It's not just, you know, like taking the business for a hustle or anything like that. But youths who are pretty long term, you know, we have the merchandise, you know, we have the management and, you know, them a try move with a professionalism towards the music. And I feel a lot of that happening at one time right now. So it's like the people see it and the people see the energy and, you know, call it different names and things like, you know, the revival and the renaissance and all these things. So it's just a really, it's really a response from the people to what go on, you know?
Oh man, it's a major impact. It's integral. The two go hand in hand, you know, because, you know, it was Rastafarians voiced their opinions through reggae music was the vehicle for their opinions on the country, and they were the voice through reggae music for the downtrodden, the oppressed, the have-nots. You know, it's originally socially commentary music, you know, and was made popular, most popular by Bob Marley, established by Bob Marley. And, you know, Bob Marley's music was mostly message music, you know, speaking of the injustices meted out to black people and so on, you know. Yeah.
I'm going to be there every single year because myself and Damien been putting in a lot of work, and we're putting in work on both of our albums. My album is entitled Lawless, which is dropping at the end of February, early March. His album is coming also. Dave Kelly is working on both of our albums. Damien is working on my album. Vice versa, I'm working on his album also. And we're planning the tours together. So next year, the albums are going to be out, so it's only fitting and only right for me to be back on the cruise promoting the album.
It's hard to say as a fan, you know, I grew up in the 90s, so I watched, you know, my favorite artists in the 90s, and yeah, as you say it right, because there were collaborations, there were, you know, artists who group up under certain production houses, you know, so like you have artists that were linked with Bobby Digital, and then you have artists that were tour and work with Fatis, or artists who work with Donovan, Jermaine, or Penthouse and things like that. So linkages was mostly under that, or them come from the same community. But now you find, say, me we come from Mona, Chronics we come from Spanish Town, Proto we come from, you know, St. Elizabeth, just linking up, and, you know, we don't really see it as nothing. You know, we all have our own independent labels and things, but collaboration is just something that happens naturally.
But after this day, the oppressors who are anti-Christ, things last year in the road. So if you ain't know, if you never know, now you will know. Come down, lie down, the whole of a long time they don't treat me Rasta. Like them not know say that man a real African. You think me no member? Firm in and keep it one of us about rolling a blood. Them make a real turn and end up in Caribbean. Man a Rasta in a side, him no Indian. Pure paradise in a plantation. And in grass touch in blue the African. Now here comes the thieving queen from England. Now she from Willa in Bimaka. But a percentage full of separation. I go run to the years and don't know reparation. I go run to the years and don't know. I'm gonna beg you, please let me to the motherland. But let me go home. Bring me from the east. Oh, welcome and a Rasta and a Rasta.
The most love for wine Yo, it's hard because when you go to Europe, people are jumping over fences. In the States, we did a college tour, and it was crazy. And then we did Bonnaroo Festival, myself and Damian Marley. And when you drop Wine, Get a Story, This Is Why I'm At, Fighter, in the Caribbean, it's a total different beast again. So it's like everywhere have its own different take of it and its own different reception for it. But it's love all around, man.
One thing I notice is people love to find the differences between now and different eras. When sometimes it's good to look at the unity, because in the 70s, when you have Bob Bunny, Peter, Jacob Miller, and then, little later on, D Brown and such, it's still Rasta. Still Rasta, and a lot of these artists, combining or were rising at the same time. Same thing in the mid-90s with, Garnet, Tony Rebel, Sizzler, Capleton, Jamason, Jacure, all of them rising up same time. In the 2000s, you had Highway and Bascom X, Chuck Fender, Phantom Moja, all of them, rising up at the same time, and it's Rasta right throughout. So, I see that as more a similarity, but, I mean, it's definitely a common denominator when you check it, because, at the heart of it, Rasta is a unifying force still, so if we can bring that out in the music and set an example through that, then all the better,
This music can never die. Ready again. More reggae music right away. All the way till last soul. Basic. Some white jump that to make chances. Machine fully low, extension. Them too high, and them too be right. Plus them close sides so tight, them all a style. Them feeling and the let me take more of the music. Right away. When them shots come, or a separate like capsule. I could have died, our cats sold them still a shots all when them last sold. Some boy jump and to make shots. Machine fully low, extension. Them too high, and them not the right. Plus them close sides so till, them all outside. Them seeking a lot of snow. Sacrifice and family for a catago. To how the shaka go. Hear the scream when the shaka go. Them seeking a lot of snow. From close to the peak for a catago. To how the shaka go. Hear blood spill. My blood, I don't want to see what you will. Say that's the real. The beast and the play. On the sky, river, sea and the lake. The innocent people get eager again. You sleep in the road and the creep of the lake. They'll kill you one another for a piece of the play. Like this, wicked one freedom in it. They let themselves aside and let them cheat and be good.
A lot of artists throughout the years, them have this kind of done mentality to the music. So like, I am the boss of my section. So it's like for them go really link up with another artist, there's like an ego to it. And this is what I observe as well as what, people tell me. Coming up, people in the business who see, a lot of things break down due to them ego there from artists. So, we just, I can speak for myself really, but in just observing the ones there's not so much of that present. You know what I mean? But one still focusing on them individual careers, but the collaboration and the, as you said, the love and thing, it coming from a pure place where it's just the love of the music. So when you see we performing together and combining on stage and thing, it's just for the music, you know?
Alright, lawless is basically self-empowerment. It's you not allowing no one at all to decide your destiny or your outcome or your goal. No one at all is going to decide how big your goal is or how small. You get what I'm saying? Just what you want to do is what you want to do, and that's how lawless movement came about. It's not about sticking up banks or nothing like that. It's about just human empowerment. You believe in what you want to do and not letting the law or no one else stop you from achieving what you want to achieve. So lawless is basically a way of life to me.
Look into my eyes, tell me what you see. Can you feel my pain? Am I the enemy? Give us a better way. Things are really bad. The only friend I know is this gun I have. This is my mind. This is not a train. No use to the night. Are you worried yet? If it happens then. Watch this. Me have to read every youth I want to feel. Cause we have to make Jamaica feel proud. Watch it. Now each of the mix now. Jason, I'll play. How we up to make Jamaica feel proud. Where Cham said, Pana Paya Pana. Me up to read every youth I want them feel. How we up to make Jamaica feel proud. Where Cham said.
It's great. It's good working in the studio with Beres. It's always a good vibe. He has his ideas. He has these melodies for his songs that he hears in his head. Maybe he'll hear a guitar phrase in his head. And it's always good. It's always a good vibe, you know. There's never any tension there. The air is never tense. Well, I know he's very particular about his harmony. But he usually just give us the freedom in the studio to, you know, explore the musical landscape and to come up with whatever we come with. Sometimes he'll come in and he'll give us an idea. He said, okay, I want a bridge and this is how I want it to go and so on. You know, he has a great ear, very good ear. Yeah.
I feel reggae music right now is at an important point where we have to, is like at a crossroads where we have to decide, you know, how big we want it to be and what is the role we want it to be, because there are a lot of things happening in terms of other genres of music, you know, popular music, and we see how industries and these big labels and things funding it on a level, but you don't really see that level of support for reggae music, you know, as well as you see in countries with big economies like US and Europe, that the local bands from there, you know, they can afford to put a lot of money into their product and their production, whether it's musically or performance-wise. You know, so I feel we as Jamaica, you know, we have to kind of take the music seriously on a level and know that it can be much bigger than it is, and it can reach, and it take a lot of sacrifice too. You know, so the more artists can sacrifice and reach places where maybe them not make a lot of money and them thing there, but you spread the music there so that the next generation can benefit from that and can be touring those places regular. You know, and that it has been happening. So, you know, it's just, it evolves with the age, you know, in terms of social media, technology, all of them things. It have to evolve along those lines. And you know, with this new movement and thing that's happening, it's like we have to know what we are going to do when we start to get bigger, we start to rise, you know, how we are going to deal with it. You know, is it a thing where, yeah, when the artists, them young, them a show love to one another, but when them bust and get big now, them start move hyper, you know, we have to know what we are doing, you know, so it are going to be important to see how interesting to see how everything play out, you know.
It was going on from before us. All that unity, all that more than one major act coming together. If you notice, Bob Marley and the Wailers, you had Peter Touch, you had Bob, you had so much big players, Marcia Griffiths. You understand what I'm saying? It's just that over the years, I wouldn't want to say selfish, but over the years it's like we lose track of that. And now we're basically going back to the roots where we know that out in this playing field, we're like the minority music in terms of how much of us are really signed to major labels. So for that reason, we have to be even more as a unit to push the music forward. And unity is strength, so that's where we're heading. Yes, sir.
Well, that is really amazing. Yeah, that is something amazing about the Jamaican culture. It's very influential. That in my travels, I've seen how influential our culture has been, especially from the musical side of it, the musical aspect of it. It's all over the world, and all over the world, people love reggae music and the Rasta culture. Because the dreadlocks originated here in Jamaica, and it's amazing to see how many people have been influenced to grow their locks. Wherever in the world I go, I see it. I see the influence of the Jamaican culture, especially the Rasta culture, the reggae music, Yeah.
As a Rasta youth, when you grow up with a government name or a Christian name, it's like you reach a point where you seek your own name and identity. And I look towards Africa for that. I found the name Kabaka. In Uganda, it means king. The title for the king there is Kabaka. The name is all around Africa. It's in Kenya with different meanings, West Africa with different meanings. But, the pyramid now is just from my research and delving into ancient Kemet, ancient Egypt, that culture and thing. And the pyramid as the house of fire, that's the real meaning behind it. I always identify with fire. That's why you see me wear red and, I'm a fire sign and things like that. So I always identified with the pyramid as a structure and a long-lasting figure. Some want the music for kind of remain through time, you know what I mean?
A friend of mine, sister, we were searching for names. And at the time I was probably 11 or 12. And a friend of mine, sister, came up with the name Baby Champagne. Okay. And when you get a name, the first thing you say is, we present on stage, Baby Champagne. And to me, the champagne was too long, so we cut it off to just Baby Cham, until over the years, people would start calling me Cham. The females would say, what up, Baby Cham? But like road boys in the street just say Cham and would just keep just Cham.
What's the message that you are trying to get across as a whole?
Yeah, simple, humble. That's the humbleness. That's one of the first one. Cleanliness, goodness, promoting goodness.
Good thing, man.
Protecting and preserving life. That's what I'm about. So that may I promote. I show the people and say they need to protect and preserve life. And give thanks for life even more. Just like how them praise the cars or them praise vanity. When I say them praise nastiness, but just I show them so they need to praise goodness. And deal with more cleanliness. Nothing hard than that, because a life may work fine. So we have to promote righteousness, because we want to see even the children them strive as well as them parents. Simple as that. Grandma, grandpa. We just want to see the people them living in love for real. Okay. Not just singing about it. No, we need to be about it. We want to see it happening. Right. Simple that.
Many. Yeah, since I listen to a lot of different genres of music. Well, I love Jimi Hendrix, of course. Junior Marvin, the lead guitarist with Bob Marley. Cat Core from Third World. Eddie Van Halen, Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, George Benson. I love B.B. King, the blues guys, B.B. King, Freddie King, and Albert King, man. Those guys are awesome, man. Yeah. I think it's probably embedded in the culture to a certain degree, because our radio stations here, they play a lot of American music. And this has been from I've been aware of music, became conscious of music. I can remember we were exposed to a lot of American music. We hear a lot of Black American music, and we hear a lot of white American music, and we also hear British pop also, because I can remember hearing the Beatles on the radio while growing up in Jamaica here. Yeah.
You see, a song like Never Gonna Be a Slave, it speaks for itself. You know, it's just life situations. You know, you observe it. You know, I've been fortunate enough to not depend on a 9 to 5 for the last few years, just doing music. But I remember the stages up until then, you know, where I used to go through and, you know, you're sleeping at some place and you sleep different place and you can't really afford to pay rent certain place and, you know, you have to depend on support from your friends and family and, you know, it's not a situation where you feel secure, you know. You know, so the more you can be self-sufficient, it's like the more you feel empowered, the more even your creativity come out, because there's less stress. You know what I mean? And, you know, the 9 to 5 thing is literally a trap. It's literally a trap that keeps you a slave to that system. You know what I mean? And you depend on that system to keep you afloat every month or every week. And if you're not depending on yourself, yeah, you have a responsibility to maintain your job. So in a sense, you're depending on yourself. But if something go happen and that boss man or that boss lady choose to let you go or you get redundant, what you gonna do? You know what I mean? And you know, most of these jobs now with youths where them can't afford certain level of education, the job structure that is set up there is just hand to mouth. You know what I mean? It's like you can't save anything, you can't build towards a future plan. You know, you just have to pay your bills and move through. You know, but the song is not for everybody, because some people love that. Some people know, say, yeah, them work, them 9 to 5, weekend come, them go out, them drink, them balance out, and them set them 401k and all of them something there. And you know what I mean? It's a different system for different people. But as a creative person, it's kind of hard to really balance in other settings then. So it's a song that empower you to kind of say to yourself, I don't have to be a slave. And his word sound is power. So if you utter something and you know it to yourself, you can create that reality. You know what I mean? So it's just really what you tell yourself in your mind every day.
I get a story special, very special. The record label wasn't even thinking about that as a single. Or we even recorded it. It came out weird. Normally we'd have a structure, a hook or something. The day Dave was just playing the beat and saying he wanted us to flow just natural life, things that I experienced. And it started out with, I remember those days when hell was my home, when me and mama bed was a big piece of foam, and just transformed into this mega, this big song.
You were just speaking from the heart.
Just from the heart. And I'm speaking about my situation growing up and friends around me situation growing up. And you find that same situation, people growing up in America was facing that same situation. Asia, Europe, Africa. People in Uganda told me that that's what helped them to survive. That song, just listening it every day and trying to find a way out. And you find that as an artist is a mirror of society. Whatever society reflects, we tend to reflect it back with music, words, and sounds. And we take what we are going through like it's just we alone going through that situation. No. Other people is facing the same situation everywhere in the world. And I think that's why that song became so huge. And it basically blew up. It was at like number 17 on the Billboard chart. And we got a call from Alicia saying that if we were planning to do a remix. And when Alicia Keys called, even if you weren't planning to do a remix, you got to do a remix. And then I reached out to Akon for part 2. And that take a whole life by itself in Africa and those whole African nations. And it was just something special. So we have to say big up to Alicia Keys, big up to Akon. And Alicia was so humble about it. She didn't want to shoot her part in New York. She flew to Jamaica. She wanted to be a part of where it all started from. So big up to her for that. Javan, 1 second. Javan! You want to pass? You don't want to pass?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What does Haile Selassie mean to you?
He's a great leader. Selassie was a great leader. Me per se, it's just Rastafarian roots and Jamaicans from a youth. You grew up that way knowing Rastafari roots. So he was a great leader, a great man. That's what he means to me.
Pana fire, pana pool and pana beat. Where you walking and this a man crowd. Where Cham say, me have to rate every youth to hold the faith. But we have to make Jamaica feel proud. Where Cham say, pana fire, pana pool and pana beat. The rich and get richer. Not down one, but we want a shower. Full time we show them.
Wow, that's a tough question, but right now it seems as if it's in the hands of the foreigners. It's now in the hands of the Europeans. I guess maybe it seems as if Jamaicans had eschewed the genre of reggae music. We had discarded it, and we started making and playing this hybrid form of dancehall, which it is not indigenous to Jamaica, the sounds and the instrumentation. It's good to know that our genre is embraced by the world, not just here. It's really good to know that, it's embraced by the world. The genre of reggae, I think, is not so popular here anymore. It's as if the new home for reggae music is in Europe, Yeah.
What's your favorite Baby Cham song?
Putting up resistance. Yeah. That's social commentary, and it will encourage our people who are experiencing hard times and so on, Yeah.
Were you on that one?
No, that was before my time, like way before my time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So your lights keeping me and I've been chilling. By your light shine so bright, no one can dim it. Let me blow them place, they push up living harsh. Every hour, every second, every minute. Big shot, play music song, no need kids them singing. Burn out who they call this sexy about no feeling. When Nazis no real Rasta living. They will keep it and blow them so before them.
For the continuation of life journey, we have to live in love. Yeah, because the war is not going to help us. You know what I said? We continue war, you know what I said? Very few of us, a whole heap of great inspiration. It's like you're killing a whole heap of great vision. A whole heap of children have found with some great vision. You know what I said? We have to share with live children and to make the whole situation better and make the whole place a better place. An higher place, you know what I say? So we kill out them vibes, you know what I say? So we say more life because we want to preserve the goodness. And we just need see more hopefulness. Simple as that, and nothing hard, you know what I say? But some people now, them feel like say living up, or someone telling them to live up, them feel like say, boy, you're being too strict or too hard on them. You know what I say? But you have a lot of slack song, a lot of nasty song telling the girls and telling the kids to, you know what I say, do things that they know just ain't right. You know what I say? And things where we sick them. Things that's just not good for life or good for them. Simple as that.
So you see it as a balance. That you're trying to just balance the situation a little bit. As far as like
Yeah, because just like in the music, we just try to show them, so watch out. Play the goodness as much as they play the slackness.
okay.
As simple as that, you know? Yeah, you make it a balance. Yeah, if you notice a beer badness, then just a badness that spread all about. And it's like they are trying to strangle goodness. So that's I say, just be fair. That's like a war. That's like a war, you know, that is so unfair. It's like you're blindfolded, your hands are tied, your feet, while the opponent have them gun, them cutlass, them knife, them sword, everything. What kind of war that? You know, kind of joker, you know, filthy, you know? Very unfair. So that's I say, alright, just like how you can take up the nastiness and run, go promote it and make sure say it happen. Take up the goodness and throw it up there and balance the thing to the man. You just a strangle one down here so and then you go and free up the next one. Just free up yourself, man, and just be realistic. Simple that. We're not asking for the nothing hard.
Well, the mission, I think for everyone, your mission is to first find your mission. You know? That's the first goal. You see, 'cause if you're not thinking like that, then a lot of the time you might not be lucky enough to be on your mission. You know? But for me, I think it's using the talents I was given to help raise awareness and consciousness to mankind, to people. You know what I mean? And I do that through lyrics. You know, so I have a interest in, you know, the raising of consciousness and spirituality and everything, but not everybody have that interest. So, you know, I feel it's beneficial to raise that level of interest in a humanity. So if I can do that through music, then it makes sense for at least try.
Me have to rate every youth to hold the faith, 'cause we have to make Jamaica feel proud. We shall say, burn a fire, pan a pool, and pan a plate, where you walk in a miss a man crowd. We shall say, me have to rate every youth to hold the faith, 'cause we... The rich and get richer. Not now more, but we want a shower. Full time we show them how we want the power. Tell them, think you will have to run here. Because the people that this, and when them get this, police and get this, they shot at them no miss. They don't send for Chris, 'cause things go down. Let me have some more tempo. More tempo, speed it up. Me have to read tempo. Faster. Well, Shamsi, burn a fire, burn a pool, and burn a plate, where you walk in a miss a man crowd. Well, Shamsi, me have to rate every youth to hold the faith, where you have to make Jamaica feel proud. Well, burn a fire, burn a fire. Get it? Well, we cannot give me no originality, but I try to respect all of humanity. But remember when you got it, they changed to clone. Yeah. Yeah, but you don't have that right now. Originality. Yeah, we get that, but we have the basic. We know it.